Hi, everyone. Welcome to SBR Sports Picks. His name's Jimmy the Bag. My name's Peter Loshak. This is the Loshak in the Bag show for a Wednesday, May 9th, 6 o'clock Eastern Time edition. Of course, we have a great time on this show most of the time that we are doing it. And of course, what has really impressed Jimmy the Bag and myself over these past months and maybe almost a year is just how valuable all the input is from all the commenters in the show. And in the morning results from the picks that Jim and I gave are sort of a classic example of that, looking very good. A few losses here and there, but overall looking like a profitable day for both of us, Jimmy the Bag, and definitely some commenters stand out to me. Mark Lathrop just was above and beyond in the show this morning, talking about how much he liked the LA Angels, and Jimmy the Bag, of course, took the Angels -1.5. That's looking like it's going to be a winner for him today. I took the Angels -1 and the Angels on the second half. Looks like I'm going to get two winners on that one. I did take Detroit -1 at a huge underdog line, and that's okay. But I took Pittsburgh on the second half. That's looking like it's going to be a winner. We all talked about the Cubs game, and everyone decided that Quintana was probably going to have a good game. Jim took Cubs on the run line. That's going to be a winner. That was a winner. Cleveland team total over Jim took. That was a winner. White Sox first half under. That was a winner. Full game under is going to be a loser. Fine. He took Cleveland on the money line. That's a winner. And overall, it's just looking very good. And I can definitely say for 100% certainty that I could not have done what I did in the morning shows, looking like a 3-in-1 day for me without the input of Jimmy the Bag and all the commenters in the show. Not to mention, Native Queen also nailed Cleveland to score first and the under in that game. She gave that one 10 minutes before first pitch. She said she liked Cleveland to score first. Also, she said she liked no score in the first inning, and she liked the under in that game. All three of those cashed. I'm just mildly blown away by how valuable the commenters are in this show, Tim.
There's every reason to be forget mildly, just really? To be blown away by, and also, we are absolutely destroying it today. Mm-hmm. I said, and Greg Schneider giving us the first comment of the day, 9th inning here at Coors Field. Mm-hmm. Got the Low Bag show on my phone while trying to cash this Coors Field fade, baby. We have not lost when Greg Schneider is at Coors Field, sending us, his yellow Jesus blessings. It's been just a fucking giant start. Just a giant start of the day. And I love it. I absolutely love it. If it wasn't for that 9th inning breakdown, I would be perfect. Yeah. And I'm still up over $1,000 so far today. So
yeah, absolutely. That and even some other commenters. I know Jay Peach said that he loved the under in the Cincinnati Mets game. That one obviously cashed easily. That just goes to show you how these line moves in MLB, especially on totals, sometimes don't mean anything. That one opened at 9, closed at 10, so a huge line move to the under. Final score was 2-1. And actually, I think Native Queen got a push on the closer with the Cleveland-Milwaukee game. But it was awesome. She also cashed with the Cleveland to score first and no score in the first inning. And I know a lot of people were also suggesting that the Colorado under, not a lot of people, but a few comments that I saw suggesting that the Colorado under was a good play there. And so yeah, once again, the community, I can't express enough how impressed I am, which definitely includes you, Jimmy the Bag. But yeah, you guys, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with the Angels game, and after reading all the comments and listening to Jimmy and everyone, I wound up going on the Angels two ways. And after listening to the comments on the Pittsburgh game, Mark Lathrop liked the White Sox on the first 5 innings. How great of a call was that?
It was a great call.
Right? And I asked him, is it because he wants to fade Williams or because he likes Lopez? And he seemed to imply with his comment that he liked Lopez. Lopez had a great start, so you cashed the first 5 innings under on that one. Just a lot of positivity going all around, and a lot of impressive comments, impressive analysis. And we even had comments of love that made me happy in the morning. Right, Jim?
It just feels really good right now. And I said it before these games started, that there was a point in the NHL season that I felt I was seeing things very clearly. And with the help of, Brooksy and all these great NHL cappers, Kevin Kay, all these guys that we were working together. And I feel that way right now. And there's no reason why we shouldn't keep this going. And also, this kind of ebbs and flows. So now that we've got it, we should hit it. Although having such an incredible start to the day, I'm a little pensive adding plays, late plays, just because it's gone so well.
Yeah.
And but
sure. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty focused and a little bit disciplined. I'm being careful about every pick. Not being overly cautious though. If you remember on yesterday, I did wind up in the late show throwing on a whole bunch of picks and wound up winning 5 units yesterday. And of course, the downs will come. The downs will come, if only because baseball is a game of inches, a lot of variance, a lot of variability, and so the downs will come no matter who you are in this game. But it's nice to be winning as of nice to be winning as of right now. Al Pacino bet on the Knights. Celtics money line. We will discuss that, of course, in the NBA segment of this show. The market definitely uncertain, and it seems like some late money coming in on Philly. We will discuss that game though in the NBA segment. All right. So once again, the morning picks all looking pretty good, and I guess we will jump into the evening games in MLB. Once again, if you'd like to sign up with Betmania, please do so in the using the link in the description box at the bottom of this video. And once again, we will also be doing our Twitter thing where we will address your any tweets that people might have sent in. And I actually requested that the one from the morning just be thrown up again quickly because I wanted to add 1 point to the tweet that came in from the morning. So we will be addressing the one from the morning just for a few seconds once again, and then whatever the hell else comes in that the social media people have. And then, of course, we'll get to the NBA game. I can pretty much tell you right now, Jim, I had no plays in the NBA last night, and looking at how those games went, I think that was the right move. I can almost 100% guarantee you that I will have no official plays on tonight's NBA game. But we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm comfortable on the
Boston game.
I'm comfortable with the Celtics here. I can understand people being on the Sixers. I'm simplifying the game as we talked about, but we'll get to that
we absolutely will get to it when we get there. And interesting. Wow, Houston looks like it's going to cash once again on the second half in the Oakland game. I did not give that one, but overall, it's been a good day. All right, let's get into it. For the evening games, Jimmy the Bag has already given 2 picks. Seattle on the money line, plus 114, and the Seattle-Toronto game over 9 minus 120. Those are the only picks that Jim gave from the evening games in the morning show. And let's see if there's been any line move. Nope, line exactly where it was in the morning show on the side. And as far as the total is concerned, actually now no 9s available. Now only 9.5. So nice job there. You grabbed a 9 when it was a split line in the morning, and now only 9.5s available. I looked into that game and I was starting to think just maybe a Seattle team total overs would be the way to go. You want to comment on that game before we move on to any other games, Jim?
No, but there's a bug flying around me.
Oh,
feel
yeah?
like I'm on acid. Yes, That's
weird. I usually they fly around me, but I took a shower. I guess showers do matter, Jim, don't they?
Sometimes.
They do matter. They do make a difference. Interesting.
It was a play that I knew I wanted. So when I capped some of these late games, I'm just still on the fence with this over in Royals-Orioles, and I do want to continue to break it down and hear what people have to say. And then the Giants-Phillies, I'm going to stay off. But that Mariners-Jays game, I just felt really good about. I felt really good when I broke it down. I think Jaime Garcia, as a Nostra put it, is batting practice. I think he's bad. I faded him, and it hasn't always worked. He had a short little run there before the Yankees picked him up last year where he actually pitched pretty well and cost me some money. But, man, I really think this is a feasible spot. I know the Jays don't hit lefties well at 221 with a 674 OPS. I don't trust LeBlanc long-term as a starter. He's had an okay first 17 and 2/3, actually just 14 innings as a starter. And the Mariners smash lefties. I got the Mariners on the dog line. I got the over 9, and I'm thankful.
Yellow Jesus says, I'm blessing everybody today. Jim, hold Pete's hand and bow your heads. Yellow Jesus, if you think we're not really going to do that, you're wrong. We're going to do that right now. We're going to hold hand. I don't know for how long.
Just
1,
give it 5 seconds.
2, 3, 4, 5. Yellow Jesus, thank you so much. I love this new commenter, Yellow Jesus. I don't know where he comes from, but I love him. I love him so much. All right, what else do we have here going on, Jimmy the Bag? Let's see.
Dark Kent says, I like the over on Royals-Orioles. Richard West says, Bobano is on the over. It's a spot. Did you look into it? The Royals-Orioles. What do you think about it?
I mean, this one is it's another one of those games. It's similar to the Homer Bailey last start where, it was just like the obvious play is to fade Homer Bailey. I had hesitated a little bit, and then I was like, what am I doing here? Just fade him. Feels like the same kind of deal with Cashner. Cashner in his last start, again, Cashner's a sinker baller, so sinker ballers have high volatility. You'll see this all the time. Sinker ballers will have some horrific starts in a row, and then all of a sudden the sinker's working, and then they've got a 7-inning shutout start with 3 strikeouts. And, Cashner got pounded again in his last start, but he did have a few innings where things were going well. You know what I'm saying? But it feels like Cashner is just an auto fade right now. Feels like at the very least, KC first 5 innings team total over is a no-brainer play that I have to go on.
The first 5 innings.
First 5 innings team total over is a play I have to go on.
And you like that better than the full game?
Full game over? Just a little bit, just because you're isolating value with the fade of Cashner. And if Cashner is on his game, he's probably going to have a good start, and then the full game over is going to be tough to get over.
Now, with Cashner's last game, there was an error that caught.
Sure.
I mean, it's not. There was an error, and then he allowed back-to-back home runs.
Yes, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like Cashner is. It wasn't like he was just out there throwing meatballs and couldn't get anyone out. There were some stretches where things were okay for him.
Yes, yes, and I've been hesitant tonight, and I don't know why. I don't like really either of these bullpens, and so I guess I would feel more comfortable with the full. What are you getting on first 5?
First 5, just 2.5 at plus 100, and this is one where I wish I could maybe even sell points on the first 5 innings, because it definitely feels like either Cashner throws 5 shutout innings, or you get 3 in the top of the first and it's already cashed.
See, in all honesty, and Twadi Latte says leaning Orioles under. In all honesty, I expect Cashner to pitch fine.
You think so?
I think Skoglund is the guy that I was fading.
Skoglund's not. Yeah, Skoglund is pretty. Yeah, and actually, I did miss one of my no-brainer plays. I said that I liked the first 5 innings over in the Miami-Chicago game, and that one cashed easily after the 3rd inning. So I was a little bit too hesitant on that one.
Yeah, there has to be now. There just has to be a reason why I'm humming and hawing all day, and I'm just hesitant. I'm just hesitant to make the play here, and this happens to me at times when I'm successful. And then sometimes I leave money on the table. Sometimes I'm making the right decision, but I've been hesitant all day. And
one thing to keep in mind is that you're never always going to make perfect. There's going to be times where you're on the fence about something and it wins and you don't take it and you're like damn. And when you're on the fence about something and you take it and it loses, you always want to sell high. You always want to buy low, but you're never going to always buy at the top and sell at the bottom. Sell at the top and buy at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? You just want to do a good job. That's advice for you and advice for everyone watching. Don't be a perfectionist when it comes to this stuff. You know what I'm saying, Jim?
Yeah.
And if you leave money on the table or you make a wrong decision in any given spot, totally okay. Par for the course. Going to happen until the day we all drop dead.
Yeah, and I'm going to stay off of it.
Okay.
I just there has to be a reason why I've been so hesitant all day, and if I leave money on the table, that's fine. I'm going to stay off this game.
Yeah, the first 5 innings total also seems like maybe a little bit of a no-brainer. It's 5.5 at a high juice line or 6. I already left money on the table with the first 5 innings in the Miami game. Although I also had a lean to the Mets on the second half, which would have lost. But I also had a lean to the under in the Mets game that would have won. Anyway, yeah. So I'm thinking about taking KC on the first 5 innings team total over. Thinking about taking the first 5 innings over in general on this game. And I guess let's move on to the other games. Let's quickly talk about the Yankees-Boston game. It's an interesting game. I think I'm going to pass here. Porcello and Tanaka both have obviously been awesome. I don't think I want to take the first 5 innings under, though. And, it's an interesting game. I think I'm going to pass. What do you think?
This is another game I broke down for a while this morning and didn't have a play on it. And I'm going to trust the instincts. I feel like I'm seeing things clearly, and if there's trepidation and hesitation, I'm just going to go with it and not make a play. Yankees are playing very, very good baseball, and I like Porcello here over Tanaka. When you put that together, it's uncomforting. It's giving me a knot in my back as I talk about it. Porcello's won his last 7 decisions. I've been very impressed with how he's come back off of a bad season. Not applicable as a New York Yankee lean. Twadi Latte says Tanaka or Porcello gets rocked tonight. I can't figure out which one yet. Molly Mall says I lean Red Sox score first. All in all, I just think this is a very difficult spot. And when we're given all these opportunities with a full slate of games, I'm just going to focus on where I see angles and where I see edges. The Yankees are just playing too well, and I don't trust Tanaka. The Red Sox are not playing well, and I trust Porcello right now. Overall, I'm off. Tomor says I'd lean under. Tanaka has shown he's a good good big game pitcher in the postseason last year, but Porcello's been strong so far. Melvin Morel says Yankees win again tonight. And Isan Solfagari says Boston's best chance to win is today. Tomorrow Rodriguez pitches against Sabathia. I like Boston and the under, and I'm off this game.
And look at this. Look at this. Native Queen, New York, Boston score in the first. And I'm pretty good at reading Native Queen's shorthand now. I think that means a yes. She's taking a yes on the New York-Boston game, score in the first despite two strong starting pitchers going. Wow. There you go. There you have it. Native Queen liking a score in the first inning. I'm going to check those odds right now. I'm assuming it's a small underdog line.
Yeah, I like the idea. I've not jumped on the this first inning bandwagon with you guys, and not that I don't it just gives me anxiety. I need time, and I need time in a game, and I also want this to be enjoyable, and that first inning plays.
It's a little cracked out. It's a little cracked out. It has the stink of crack on it, doesn't it?
It does have the stink.
It has the stink of crack, which is not to say that it can't. Nice joke right there. Oh, I love you, Jimmy the Bag. I love it. My highlight of my day is when I can make Jimmy the Bag laugh. But on the other hand, because it is a derivative, obviously Native Queen's been killing those props over all year long. And if you know what to look for, it's just you got to be a little bit careful, which I would also apply to live betting. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Live betting has a stink of some of that stuff as well. And let me just quickly check. Score in the first inning would be minus 101 right now at Pinnacle. So about even money on a score in the first inning. Native Queen likes the yes, despite Porcello and Tanaka, two excellent starting pitchers going.
Yeah, I think those are exciting plays. Sorry, what did you say the plus? What was the line?
Plus 100. Well, minus 101 at Pinnacle.
Oh wow!
For the yes.
Okay. Yeah, no, I love Native Queen. Love having the Oracle as part of our crew, and I've been keeping an eye on these first inning plays, and I may jump on it. She hit again with the Angels to score first, cashing again, and she makes us better having her with us. There's no doubt about that. Oh,
I mean, she gets if in the final shout out of this show of the universe goes to Native Queen.
Absolutely. She's very, very special.
Unless the show never ends. But if that ever happens, the ultimate shout out goes to Native Queen. So there you go. She has spoken. And as far as the game is concerned, I don't know. I'm going to pass on this one. A lot of people making the case that the Yankees are the play. I can understand that. Maybe Yankees on the second half. I have to assume, I just have no reason to assume that both Tanaka and Porcello won't have solid starts here, and that the game's going to be 2-1 either way by the time the sixth inning rolls around.
Yeah, I just don't feel like I have an edge, and that's all I look for. And
yes,
so I'm going to stay off of it. I would like to give out a shout out to our friend Scotty Rock Nation. He's about to hit his $100 parlay Angels Rockies under 8.5 and Astros money line $211. Great job. And then just a quick note, because I know we won't be able to remember because we get so many comments. But Tomor says, talking to Rich Banks, I just finished analyzing Houston Golden State Warriors. I agree with you. I don't see Houston winning more than one game. I really think moving Green to the 5 and not playing Pachula is a big deal. Golden State just plays faster. And Zach Jones, SBR Zach Jones, just told me he likes Warriors in 5, which is some wild stuff. And I know we're not going to, because so many comments, so I'm just going to throw that out there. Jalen Jones says Red Sox win. And he's not the only one who's saying that. Quite a few. And Trenton Claxton, Boston score in the first. And this is I'm happy to be off this, and I'm just feeling my back tightening up when I'm talking about these games. So,
all right, let's move on to a game that I'm interested in, Jim. I'm sure you looked into this one. You looked into all these games, right?
Oh yeah.
Atlanta against Tampa Bay, right? Atlanta, just an impressive team. Tampa Bay been playing pretty well. Have they been playing over their heads over the past 10 games or so? Maybe so. Tehran off a couple of good starts. Tehran is he's a frustrating guy, because that in any 5-start span of starts, he's probably going to have 3 7-inning 1-run or shutout starts, and then 2 starts where he gives up 3 or 4 or 5 runs in a couple innings, and it's your job to figure out which is going to be which. My sense is that with Tehran, any 5-start span of his, 3 of them are going to be excellent, close to lights out. 2 of them, he's going to get touched up a little bit. What do we expect from him here? I'm thinking Atlanta full game. I'm thinking Atlanta second half. What do you think, Jim?
Yes, when we started this baseball season, I believed in Tehran.
Mm-hmm.
I said that I listened to him interview. He said things that were very mature and that he was going to get over this issue he's having at home. And I still expect him to. He has been very, very good. He gave up 9 earned runs in his first 2 starts. And that was just in a combined 8 innings. Since then, he's dominated. 6 earned runs in 29 innings. That's a 1.86 ERA over that span. It's extremely impressive. And I just don't see Yarbrough. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
Yes.
I just don't see Yarbrough continuing his strong season. He's one of those guys in that bullpen rotation that they have. He looked good against the Jays. And, I'm not a believer in this Jays offense. The Braves are hitting .283 with an .808 OPS versus lefties. I like Atlanta.
Yeah.
I like Atlanta here, and I like to back Tehran, and I'm going to do it full game.
Yeah, all right. I hope that Tom Marino is here, because my only problem with Tehran is just, 2 starts ago he had a little bit of a back issue, right? His back tightened up. Then his last start, absolutely friggin' lights out, and I'm just a little bit worried that his last start was so lights out that this might be a down spot for him in some way. And Tomor is the perfect guy to ask that question. I wonder if Tomor's here.
He is. He's with us. So
okay.
So it'll be nice to hear what he has to say. Listen, it's not been 1 or 2 starts. Mm-hmm. It's been 5 starts.
For Tehran.
Yes, that he's been great.
Yeah.
And I believe in him.
But I'm just saying, if you look at the 2 starts ago, he had a back issue. Last start was even better than normal for him. So I'm wondering if maybe I'm overthinking. I'm just asking. I'm just thinking out loud.
No, that's how we work together.
That's how we work.
That's why we're successful right now in MLB, because we're all working together and we're listening. You have every right to feel that way.
I have every right to feel that way. Thank you for validating my feelings about Julio Tehran.
I really like him.
Yes.
I really like him. I like the way he's throwing. I like the way he's leading this young ball club.
And I like the team in general. All right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Atlanta 2 ways. -1 and Atlanta second half. What do you want, Jim?
Another thing just to add to it is that Yarbrough is tough on lefties. Mm-hmm. And we got Acuna and Albies both hitting from the right side of the plate to get this lineup rolling, and I like it a lot. I'd like Braves full game. All
right, Braves full game. The money line will be -104. -104. I'm going to take Braves -1, which will involve their alternative run line, which is right now +185 at Bet365. So I'm going to take Atlanta -1, the money line -104, and the run line +185. A little bit tempting to take to grab that +185, right, Jim? Because when the Atlanta bats get going, they can put up some runs, and that's a nice little juicy line there at Bet365 +185.
No doubt about it, it's juicy, but the Braves offense, they've slowed down. Now, the Rays have scored 1 run in their last 2 games, and I think the Rays were hitting way over their head. I expect them to come back to earth. And the Coors Field fade hit again.
Let's nice.
Just give a shout out to Nostra Tota, the genius in Nostra Tota, just putting money in our pockets. And goddamn, I love the guy. Love him. He's not only a great capper, but he's a great guy. And goddamn, it feels good to make this goddamn money.
All right, so I'm taking Atlanta -1, the money line -104, and the run line +185. I'm also taking Atlanta on the second half at -125. Jim's going to just take Atlanta on the money line -104. Is that right, Jim?
Yes, that's all I'm going to take. And Tomor has come in with an answer. He says, I obviously agree Tehran's pitching well, but off a 7-inning, 2-hit start, I'd be hesitant to back him here. Tampa Bay hasn't seen him, though, and that's a huge point. Also, we said that about Minaya with the A's, and he continues to pitch well. So I really think this is the guy that we expected Tehran to become, and I just love it.
And I just also like Atlanta as a team. So even if Tehran's off a little bit, I don't think Tehran gets crushed here. He might just have a 5-inning, 3-run start, in which case all of our plays are still maybe in play. I would also be leaning to the under here, though, as well, though.
Yes, I hear that. And the bullpen system that Cash has been using has really impressed me. I did not expect it to be so good, and it's been working. Brandon Cummings says, I love backing pitchers when an opposing team hasn't seen them yet when they're the ace of their team. I couldn't agree more.
Wow, the total on this game, I was thinking the under might be a play. It's actually jumped up a half run, opened at 8, now up to 8.5. Interesting.
Yes, very interesting. But I went against the whole market move on that Pirates White Sox game, and I should have been I should have been rewarded for that. That 4 runs in the top of the ninth made me extremely angry.
Yeah, that's how it goes. But once again, when you're looking at these line moves, I admit I got spooked by the line move to the over in the Mets-Cincinnati game. I was leaning under. Jay Peach was not spooked by it. He took it and he cashed, and that one cashed easily. So
Jay Peach has been capping at a very excellent rate right now, and he's on the under in this game with capital.
Which one?
In the Braves game with capital letters.
Really?
And
yes.
he's hitting very, very hard. And not only that, but our Farouk Islam, who joined us this week, hit a $50 parlay, cashed $500, and shout out Farouk, and man, we love having you in our family here. And Rod Digga has joined us, which is nice. You guys, a couple things here. One, our chat is so important to our capping, and it's also they become our best friends. And Al Pacino, Tony Soprano is coming in making these big bets, and yes, we know that some people don't believe the big bets or whatever, and then they're saying things, and then Tony Soprano is saying things back, and it's going back and forth and creating a toxic environment that we don't want in our chat. We just want to cap, and we want to make money. We want to work together as a team. So we need two things to happen here. One, let's just if Tony Soprano says he's making $10,000 bets, let's just let him make whatever. We know that some people don't believe it, whatever. And Tony, we need you then to be a part of this family and not I know that like these guys that you don't like, Jeremy M and Brent Brooksy, and these guys were with us since day one, and we care about them very, very much. So we need to keep this from being a toxic place.
Yeah. We don't want any fighting in the comments section. And thank you for Tony Soprano, Al Pacino for apologizing for what he did before, and for being a man about it. And everyone just try to get along if we can. I hate, and sometimes I don't know how to diffuse it. You know what I'm saying, Jim? I don't know how to diffuse it, even though I want to with my whole being.
Yeah,
you know
and Yellow Jesus says positive energy, bros.
Yes,
so let's just go with that.
Positive energy. We love everyone in this entire chat, and we want to keep things positive. Yeah. And I love everyone. Rod Digga, Jalen Jones, Steve Ala, King Art, Randy Lockhart, Yellow Jesus, Zigzag Man, Jovan Salenos, Brant Hunt, Tomrino Tomer. I'm just reading all the names. I literally love everyone. What is someone like me to do when you love everyone? It's hard. It's hard. It's not easy being filled with love, Jim.
No, we love it, though. We love it. Okay. All right. So yes. So let's just work together.
Yes.
Okay, let's run. Yes, I like the Braves full game, and you're on that under. Jay Peach is on the same side as you, and that's a good person.
Yeah, I'm leaning under here. My only issue is that again, the Atlanta has great numbers against lefties. Yarbrough has served himself well, but could get hit. I would be leaning under here, and now it's even more tempting now that it's at 8.5. I'm gonna think about it. This is one of these borderline plays where if it cashes and I don't take it, I'll be a little bit annoyed. I'll lock it in the memory bank, but I'll be okay with that. Let's move on right now to the San Francisco Philly game. This is a very, very interesting game, right, Jim? Obviously, a very interesting series. San Francisco had a great series recently, and now they've gone into Philly and gotten hit. And we've been on that. We've been fading San Francisco in this series. Now they have Stratton against Pivetta. Pivetta is a tough one. A youngster with high velocity, as Tomrino told us in the morning show. But in general, just a guy who isn't putting it all together right now. Stratton, also a guy with some talent, up and down, coming off a good start. And I believe that the people who follow these teams closely were saying that San Francisco might be the play tonight. I was thinking maybe take a shot with San Francisco on the team total overs and just basically bet that Pivetta once again at some point during his start struggles. It's a tough one. What do you think, Jim?
It's a very tough one. And initially, I didn't trust either of these two pitchers. Mm-hmm. And then I looked into it a little deeper. Pivetta has been good at home. He actually does have a bit of a higher ceiling than I thought he did. And Stratton is a first-round pick whom I don't really trust. The Phillies are hitting the ball hard. I wanted to make an over, and I cut it. Mm-hmm. I cut the bet. Just didn't make it. And it's a tough spot. Stratton 3-2, 3.99 ERA, 1.23 WHIP. Pivetta much as a 3.00 ERA at home, 9.00 ERA on the road. He's been a bad pitcher throughout his young career, and his ERA's ballooned to 4.76 from 2.57 in these last 2 starts. So I just thought he was going to get touched, but maybe coming back home is going to spark him. And I don't know what to do.
The other thing is that this San Francisco first 5 innings team total over is not one of your 2.5s. It's just a 2. They're making this real fucking hard to not jump on, just like with the moving the total in the Tampa Bay game up to 8.5. They're making this real hard. I wanted to take a shot with the first 5 innings team total over with San Francisco, and I was thinking, will I take 2.5? I don't have to. I could take just 2. Jimmy the Bag, what's your take on the Giants offense right now in general?
I think that it's going to be a low average, smaller OPS, but they're going to get the clutch hits. We've seen teams score runs from the 7th inning on. I think they're going to manufacture runs, and I think they're going to be better than their numbers spell. You know, when we look at their numbers right now, they're hitting 250, which is a nice average, but just a 703 OPS. And you look at the Phillies, they're hitting 238, but they have a 720 OPS. I think that's what we're going to get with the Giants moving forward. More ticky-tack singles and clutch baseball.
All right, well, the first 5 innings team total over at just 2 minus 109 is definitely a lean for me. I'm thinking about this one, The full game is just 4 for San Francisco. Very tempting, right, Jim?
It's very tempting. There's no doubt about it. That's a very tempting spot.
All right, other games on the card tonight. Again, the Seattle-Toronto game. I was thinking about taking a shot with you definitely think that Garcia is going to get touched here, right?
I do not believe in Jaime Garcia. I don't believe he will be pitching for the Blue Jays in 2 months.
All right. Well, let me tell you, I'm not trying to blow your mind here, Jim. Yeah. I'm not trying to put you on any play, but the Seattle first 5 innings team total over is also not a 2.5. It's just a 2.
Come on, a 2. Ooh.
All right, I'm going to take that one. Seattle, first 5 innings, team total over. 2 minus 134 is the current line at Pinnacle. 2 minus 134. I've done it. If Jaime Garcia comes in and holds Seattle to 1 or fewer runs in the first 5 innings, we tip our hat to him, and we take the 1.34 units in loss. I'm taking it. First 5 innings, team total over 2 minus 134.
Now this is a play where you'll see me tripling up, but my book does not offer first 5 inning team totals. I can only do, like I would get over under 5 for both teams, but I can't individualize this team. So I will add it on, but know that I'm adding it on as an official play here. Right. And it won't be. I won't be adding it on as a bet because I can't make it.
You want to take that one as well?
I do. Yeah.
All right. Jim's going to throw on now. Tripling up on this game officially. Seattle first 5 innings team total over 2 minus 134. I'm looking around. Don't want to leave money on the table. I'm looking at. I'm going to look at the full game team total for Seattle, which is 4.5. Okay, so 4.5 there, and then let's see. Seattle, it's 4.5. Yeah, so I don't know if I want to double up on this team total. Definitely feels like Garcia is going to get touched, though, doesn't it?
I just don't think he's a very good pitcher. Tomore says, I agree with Jimmy. I still remember when Garcia started throwing up before his postseason start with the Cardinals and pitched horribly. Mentally weak guy. These guys hit lefties. And
I know you are up to date on Toronto's lineup right now. What's your take on Toronto's lineup right now, Jim?
I think they're not a strong lineup. I don't believe in them moving forward. I know this team very well, and I don't trust them. It doesn't matter if Donaldson's in the lineup to me. I think this team is going to start losing. I think they're playing over their head right now, and seeing them get no hit did not surprise me at all last night.
What do you think about the first 5 innings over at 5 minus 134? What do you think about? Can they put 2 up against LeBlanc in the first 5 innings?
Well, I think they can touch LeBlanc, and so I'm on the full game over, and I'm not going to quadruple up.
Right. I'm taking the first 5 innings over on the Toronto game. 5 minus 134. First 5 innings over 5 minus 134. That's the current line at Pinnacle.
Yeah, I get it, and I've tripled up, and I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable.
Interesting. Looking at line movements, the first 5 innings under is headed down. The first 5 innings under is headed down in the Yankees-Boston game. Very interesting. People expecting both Tanaka and Boston and Porcello to have good starts. All right, we are chugging along here. We're being cautious. I like the pace. We're maintaining a brisk pace, but we're being cautious. 2 games we haven't talked about: Arizona Dodgers and Washington San Diego in the morning. Someone, I forgot who it was, suggested Arizona is just systematically undervalued right now, and that they are once again going to be a good bet here. They are coming off the extra inning win. Corbin, this is another tough one. Tomor, of course, loves to talk about about how much teams see each other. And Wood and Corbin are both going to be facing the opposite team for the second time in a row, third time on the year. So these teams have a lot of footage on Corbin and Wood both ways this year. That goes both ways. The Wood's looking good. Corbin obviously is awesome. And I guess I would be leaning Arizona here. I'm just not exactly sure if I want to make a play on it, and if so, how.
We've been debating this game all day.
Yeah.
Maxwell Smart been making a lot of money off these Diamondbacks, and Nostratoda is not a believer in these Diamondbacks. Now, the Dodgers are a shadow of their former selves. I mean, it's clear. I mean, no Puig. Turner is taking batting practice with a pitching machine. Clayton Kershaw, bicep injury. Ryu, groin. Forsythe, shoulder. Seager, done for the season. How many times are they going to get a chance to see Corbin before they start hitting him? It's very... It gives me pause. I initially had the Diamondbacks as a play and was talked off of it. And it won't bother me if they win. It won't bother me if they win. I have an issue with Wood. Now, he's walking nobody. He has a 0.93 whip, but clearly his velocity is down. Is his velocity down because of that food poisoning thing he went through? No, it's more than that.
Wait, whose velocity is down?
Wood. Alex
Wood,
Wood's
right.
velocity is down. But he's got 38 Ks in 40 innings to just 5 walks. And these Diamondbacks are hitting lefties this year. 241, 763 OPS. The Dodgers, again, aren't hitting lefties at all. 229, 655 OPS. Jay Ryan says Dodgers look really bad. Jalen Jones says Wood will pick up his first win. And then Twadi Latte is on the over 6.5. And then somebody said you can't even get 6.5s anymore.
Let me see. On the Arizona game, well, Heritage has 6.5. No, you certainly can. Okay. Heritage, Bet Online, UWager, and BetMania all at 6.5. It is a split line. Pinnacle and Bookmaker and the Greek and Intertops and Bet365 all at 7. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about taking Arizona on the second half here as well, but Nostratoda is in general doesn't think Arizona's that good of a team.
He does not believe in them at all.
Interesting. Corbin, I'm sure he believes in, right?
Corbin's looked great this year, but now now the guys are gonna see him again.
Yeah.
How many times are you gonna be able to roll through a lineup? It just doesn't work that way.
My sense is, and maybe Nostratoda would disagree with me on this one, but my sense is that seeing a pitcher for a second and third time in a year helps with like helps a ton or a little with, like, I would say maybe the bottom 80% of starters. But in the top, because I remember when, and I first recognized this with Chen Ming Wang. Remember Chen Ming Wang for the Yankees? Sinker baller. And the hitters would talk about, they would be like, when he's on his game, you know what's coming. You know what the pitch is going to be, and you still can't hit it. You just drill it right into the ground. My sense is, Corbin gets a lot of grounders. My sense is that with a pitcher like Corbin, seeing him for a third time doesn't help as much as it would for like lower level pitchers. You know what I'm saying? I might be wrong about this one. I have no statistical data to back that up, and I'm sure you could come up with some. But
yeah, no, I think that's salient. The two big things here that I've just read. One from Parlay Poppy saying the better play is over first 5, 1.5 for Arizona. So I'm telling you, and it's at -105. And then the spokesman right underneath says Corbin velocity dropped 2 miles an hour last outing. Last outing. Says injury possibly coming. All this makes me want to take the over 6.5.
All this makes me want to pass.
And that's probably what I'm going to do as well.
Just like the Yankees game. Pass. Christopher Kelly says no play on this game. Diamondbacks not really hitting except for Pollock, lean Dodgers. Corbin getting touched tonight. You guys might be right that the over might be the way to go here.
I feel like the over is the way to go here, hanging a 6.5. I really do. Dave L.A. say Dodgers in the pitcher's park. I just... Tomer says, people don't realize how historically great the Dodgers were in the regular season. Arizona got no respect last year either. Christopher Kelly says over is a good lean as well. Oh, Christopher Kelly's back. Okay, so... and Yellow Jesus says that Corbin was sick last start. Interesting. I think that 6.5 is so low. They're just begging you to take the over, but I can't trust the Dodgers to get any runs against the lefty, and I don't trust this Diamondbacks. They're not good at manufacturing runs, and that start against Hill yesterday, all their runs came from home runs. Dave LA says it's too easy to take the over at 6.5.
Okay. Yeah. You want to talk about Washington, San Diego? That's another one I think I'm going to pass on. Maybe this is a game where San Diego does finally, get a win and have some value, but Washington has just been awesome. And Gio Gonzalez, not a guy I want to fade right now, not necessarily a lights out guy, but seems very reliable and just seems like Washington is absolutely on a roll. Lucchesi has been getting hit a little bit more in his last few starts. So I think this is going to be a pass for me as well.
Yes, Lucchesi's been getting touched. And I'm going to ask one more time, Tony Soprano. I'm going to ask one more time, and I'm not going to ask again.
Are people fighting?
I'm just asking. Yeah, so, I mean, some guy says just block Tony Soprano, and then you come out and call him a name. I'm going to ask you one more time. Just stop doing that.
Yeah, please, let's just keep it positive. We do want to keep it positive because we want everyone here to enjoy the show and love it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. Jimmy and I are just jokers and handicappers. We don't know how to keep things positive. I wasn't trained for this. I don't have any natural ability in it. But yeah, if you guys can just keep things untoxic is what we want to do here.
Yeah, and someone can say just block a guy. There's no names being called, and then you come back with a name. Let's stop that.
Yeah.
Yes, I think Lucchesi's about to be touched. I think that he was pitching over his head. People have video on him now. And also the Padres aren't scoring. I want to take the Nats, but I don't know exactly how to do it because I don't really want to take him at a minus 145 or a minus 147. Mm-hmm. And then I don't know. And I don't like Gio Gonzalez. I've said it all year. I think that he's overvalued. Nats have won 9 of 10. They are playing good ball. And last night marked the 5th time this season the Padres were shut out. The 4th time they've had 3 or fewer hits. Gonzalez has always pitched well at Petco Park. He's 4-2, 2.33 ERA, 1.34 WHIP this year through 38 2/3, 42 Ks, 16 walks, which is sort of unlike him. 3-2 record with a 3.50 ERA in his career against the Padres, but in one start against Padres last season, he looked great. He's 2-1 at Petco Park with a 2.55 ERA in 4 starts. The Padres are only hitting .223 against Gonzalez at Petco Park, and I just don't think Lucchesi is the pitcher that he was in the beginning of the year. Over his last 3 starts, he's given up 9 runs on 14 hits, 9 walks. 4 of those 9 hits have been home runs. Nationals don't hit lefties, and that's why I don't want to take them on the run line. Mm-hmm. They're 222 with a 677 OPS. And Padres have better numbers against lefties, 227 with a 702 OPS. I want to take the Nats here, but I don't really want to take the run line. And I know that Bet365 was offering me a minus 145. Normal Nation, who's been hitting very hard, doing very successful, says I'm all over the Nats. Couldn't agree more. Mm-hmm. And then Twali Latte says San Diego team total over 2.5. Really? Mm-hmm. No doubt about it.
Yeah. This is a tough one. We're coming up on the 7 o'clock games. I have to make some decisions here. I think I'm going to take San Francisco on the team total over just one way, not triple up, not quadruple up. But I just feel like Pivetta should be vulnerable. A lot of people were saying in the morning show that they like San Francisco to win this game. I hope San Francisco doesn't win like 3-1 so that they win and the team total doesn't cash. But just final thoughts on that one, Jim.
And I have 60 minutes, or actually 26 minutes really, but I'm gonna have to send in my Braves, but I haven't done that yet. Mm-hmm. Back on this Giants spot. I think that Pivetta obviously has not looked good in his last 2 starts, but but at home, I that's the only reason why I stayed off the over. I think that he might get comfortable at home, and this Giants lineup is a clutch lineup, but not a hard-hitting lineup. All
right, I'll take it just one way. I'm going to take, and I'm not going to take the first 5 innings. I'm just going to take the full game team total over 4 minus 116, just in case Pivetta, throws 5 innings with 1 run. The play is still live going into the bullpen. Philly's bullpen is, can get touched here and there. So I'm taking it. San Francisco team total over 4 minus 116. That's a borderline play I could have passed on, but I decided to go on it.
I get it. I just think that the Padres are a bad baseball team right now, mm-hmm. and the Nats have won 9 of 10. But I'm not going to trust this Nats team to win by 2 runs. Mm-hmm. So what is the best line I could get on the Nats money line full game?
On the Nats money line full game right now, it is headed up. It opened at minus 125, minus 132 we could give you at Bet Online.
I'm going to take that.
You want that one, huh? All right, Jim's going to take Washington money line minus 132. That's the current line at Bet Online.
And then this over in the Diamondbacks at Dodgers just feels like like something that should be taken, and I'm not. I'm not. There's for some reason I feel uncomfortable here, and it's been such a glorious start to the day. I'm not going to do that. So at this point, I believe I've only added 2 plays. Oh, no, because I've also added that team total over. So 3 plays. Right?
Okay, so let's review. Once again, Jimmy the Bag in the morning show gave Seattle on the money line and the over 9 in that game, which is now not available, only 9.5. He has added Washington money line, Atlanta money line, and the Seattle first 5 innings team total over 2 at -134. I have added Atlanta -1, Atlanta second half, Toronto first half over 5 -134, and the Seattle first 5 innings team total over 2 -134. Borderline play, San Francisco team total over 4 -116 at Pinnacle. I did add other borderline plays would be the KC on the team totals.
Ronaldo Pettis coming in saying no Harper tonight.
Okay, that might be why there was a late little move. Let me see if this line is headed down at all.
Wow. I'm gonna just take a quick look, see if I can get it.
All right, Jim's gonna check to see if he's if there's any news there, and I will review the 7 o'clock games. Then we'll move on, maybe come back to the Washington Arizona games, and then wrap it up. Once again, Boston and the Yankees. Native Queen likes a score, yes, in the first inning in that one at -101, and that is interesting. Larry has left the building. I think he's going to the bathroom. I'm not exactly sure.
No, I think he hears a beeping.
What he's gonna,
I have no idea, but Larry's on it.
All right, Larry's on it. Yeah, there is some kind of beeping. All right, yeah. So once again, Jim and I are passing on that one. Boston and the Yankees. Native Queen likes a score in the first inning on that one though. Casey, Baltimore. What to expect from Cashner? I don't know. Some signs indicating that maybe he'll be a little bit better. Jim is down on Skoglund. I am as well, and we're going to pass on that one. San Francisco, Philly. Jim passed again. I did take San Francisco on the team total over. Seattle, Toronto. Jim and I are both thinking that there's going to be some offense here and that Seattle should have the edge. Atlanta, Jim and I both liking Atlanta, and I took them on, I'm a little stronger on them. I took them 2 ways, including on the -1 line, and I would also have a vague lean to the under on that one as well, which is, still 8.5. Very interesting. The first 5 innings under, maybe as well in Atlanta, Tampa Bay, which is 4 at an underdog line or 4.5, -110 at U-Wager. Could easily see that one going under in the first 5 innings, but I think I'm going to be careful on that one as well. I'm being very careful, cautious, but with as much balls as I think I can have. And, I'm throwing plays on here. I might be leaning money on the table. This is the way it's going to be all season long. And those are the 7 o'clock games.
Take me off of the Nationals play.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not going to take it without
Is he
Harper.
out?
Yeah, Harper's not in the lineup. And,
Okay.
and I'm not going to I haven't sent it in yet. I haven't made the bet yet. I don't want it.
Okay.
I'm comfortable just adding Atlanta as my only addition. It's such a great day. This way, there's no way I could possibly hurt this day, and I love it.
Okay.
So yeah. Now Tomor says Harper's hitting 182 against lefties. Who cares if he's out? He does still put some fear into the pitchers, but I hear what you're saying. I just looked at that lineup. They got Moises Sierra in that lineup. I'm not saying that it won't hit. I'm just happy not to be on it and not send it in. So thank you guys again, man, for letting us know and being so on top of the lineup.
Yes, absolutely. All right, let's move on now. Let's get to the Twitter segment, and then we'll get to the NBA segment. Then maybe we'll come back for a few seconds if we want to.
Sure. And will you handle the beginning of the Twitter segment because I need to send in that.
Absolutely. Jim is doing something. All right. Once again, we are addressing tweets live on camera. Jimmy the Bag and I, and we addressed a tweet in this morning that I wasn't really able to answer, but I asked that they throw it up once again because there was one comment that I wanted to make. This is from Barca Man. Shout out to Barca Man. He goes, "Yo, Jimmy and Peter, que pasa, amigos? What app do you recommend to be able to open pages like Bet365 if you're in another country different from the USA, or are you?" And then the next one is, or are you in South America? And I answered that question in the morning show by saying, I don't have a fucking clue. I don't know, man. Thanks for the tweet. Which is my honest answer. But I forgot to add, you can go to SBR Forum and ask that question, and people will have an answer there. You can go to the main forum where they'll have an answer, or even better, might be just the Sportsbooks and the industry forum at SBR Forum. So Barca Man and anyone else who wanted to have an answer to that question, that's one thing I really wanted to come back and readdress and say any kind of questions like that. You can go to the forum at Sportsbook Review, and there are a lot of people who probably have an answer, a lot of people who will get back to you, and sometimes even the administrators of SBR will, but the better resource by far is just the other commenters and posters at SBR Forum. So Barca Man and anyone else who wanted to know the answer to that question in the morning, yes, try out SBR Forum, and they will be able to help you out there. Now we have another tweet that comes from Brandon Cummings. This one, you might want to get ready, Jim. You might want to get ready. You want me to read it, Jim? Okay,
sure.
it's not addressed to you, but here it comes from Brandon Cummings. Question from Brandon Cummings. Tweet from Brandon Cummings. How do you cap horses? Is there a trick to it? Like, what the hell do you look for when capping horses? And can you explain exacta and trifecta and shit like that, please? We love Brandon Cummings. Brandon Cummings, I can quickly tell you that an exacta is just betting the first 2 horses in a row, and a trifecta is just betting the first 3 horses in order. That's why they pay such big payouts usually. Now, to your first question, how do you cap horses? Is there a trick to it? Of course, people have written libraries of books about this. Jim could probably write a book about this. There is no way in hell that we can answer this in 4 or 5 minutes adequately right now. But we will give Jim 5 minutes right now to address this question. He's willing. He is able to. He is free to say whatever he wants for 5 minutes. How do you cap horses? Is there a trick to it?
Well, yeah, I mean, yes, there's a trick. The daily racing form, the horse racing form, is the most complicated sports form that there is. There's nothing more complicated. What you need to do is you need to go to the track with someone who understands every single little number on that form, because it's very complicated, and ask questions and ask questions and ask questions. You need to be able to read a horse form. You have no chance of succeeding at the sport without being able to read a horse form. Confidently read a horse form. Now, I have friends that come with me to the track that I've been teaching for 15 years. It took my dad teaching me for years. I asked him recently when I figured it, when I could really read one. And he was just being kind. He was saying, about when I was about 11 or 12 years old, I could read it. But all I did was ask questions every time I was at the track. What does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? You have to be able to read a horse form. So that's first off. Secondly, when we have these big races, these grade 1 races, these horses that cost between $100 and $3 million as a yearling, we're going to have a better idea of how they're going to run than when you're betting on $5,000 claimers. That goes with tracks too. At Santa Anita, at the big tracks, you're going to have a better idea of how these horses are going to run than you will at Finger Lakes or any of the tiny of the B and C tracks. The A tracks are going to be easier, and the more expensive horses are going to be easier. If you bet a whole card, which I do because I love it so much, there's going to be races that are the 8,000, 10,000 claimers that are just going to be very, very difficult. When you're dealing with shit horses, the volatility skyrockets. When you're dealing with the best horses in the world, you're going to be able to really predict how a race is going to go. So one thing, it's just too long of a conversation, but the first thing is the horse racing form, the daily racing form. Go to the track with someone who knows how to read it and just ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. And this is supposedly horse racing, and I know is a dying sport. So older horse cappers are going to want you to be involved. They're going to want youth asking questions. They're not going to be upset sitting there answering questions, because we don't want this sport to die. We need new blood at the track. So don't worry about asking question after question after question. And secondly, really believe in the more expensive races and in the stakes races, because they're easier to cap than the shit races. And so when you're dealing with horses who are maidens, and a maiden means they've never won before, then you can go down to the paddock and look at the horse that's not sweating, and look at the horse that's got more muscles, and look at the horse that's comfortable.
Shout out to Let It Ride movie. Remember when they go down and they go down to the horse, they're like looking the horses in the eye and trying to figure out which horse wants it more.
Let It Ride's one of my favorite movies in the world. But yeah, it really, so go down to the paddock and with the maidens and with the shit claimers, you can do that now. Again, you don't need to bet on every race. And that's a mistake I have, just because I have so much fun doing it. And when I go to the horse track, I'm not there like when I make these bets here on the show. I expect to succeed. Mm-hmm. At the horse track, I often go for fun. When you're doing with the 3 jewels of the Triple Crown, I expect to succeed because we have months to study up. We have prep races to look at. And when you only have 25 minutes between races, it's very hard to really handicap a race properly. Yeah. So you actually think that going and looking at the horses can give you a help right before the races? A huge help when you're dealing with maidens. Someone once told me that in maiden claimer races, go down and look and definitely throw out any horse with a boner. Yeah,
That's what I was told.
Yeah, a horse with a boner. You also don't want your horse taking a huge dump before the race. I used to think, and this was so stupid when I was a kid, that you wanted a horse to take a shit before the race because you'd be loose, you'd lighter on your feet. But then somebody said to me, after you take a big shit, are you ready to sprint? No, the answer is no. So yeah, you want to look at these young maiden horses, and you want to be able to. You can do that. You could take a horse racing form and not even use it with the maidens, the young maidens, and go down there and just use your eyes. Who's got the most muscles? Who's not sweating? Who's got a great jockey? When you see a top jockey taking a horse where you're like, why is he taking that horse? That's enormous information that you're being given, because the top jockey believes that this horse has a shot, and that's why he's taking it. So the jockeys are extremely important. There's so many different levels of
All right, so once again, books and libraries have been written about this topic, but Jimmy the Bag, who friggin' knows horses and proved it with his awesome dead-on analysis of the Kentucky Derby, has just given his best shot at answering that question in 5 minutes, live on camera. Thanks so much, Jimmy the Bag.
My pleasure. And Dom Ricci right here, an excellent capper, says, when I'm at Belmont, I sit in the paddock bleachers. That is a very, very good thing to do. And he says, just watch. And he says, that's the first lesson I learned. So, yeah, and I've gone to the track. I've gone to tracks like the last time I was in Edmonton, Northlands, I went with a couple buddies there, and we went down, and they knew nothing about horses. And I just said, let's just spend the day at the paddock. Just watch the horses. And my man Bebenek, Bebsy, hit huge. He hit some huge 25-1 guys that I would never have seen, but he's not looking at the numbers. He's just looking at who's not sweating, who's got muscles, who's got a nice job.
All right, sounds great. Thank you so much, Jimmy the Bag. And now let's move on to NBA, Philadelphia and Boston. Jimmy the Bag took Boston earlier in the day. Tony Soprano likes Boston tonight as well. King Rail, I believe, likes Philly. Did King Rail says he likes Philly, right?
He does. That's very concerning.
And very, very, very small money, I think, coming in since the morning show, very slightly favoring Philly. I said that I am going to be off this game. If you gave me a free bet right now, though, I would put it on Boston team total overs. Maybe the first half team total over, maybe the full game team total over. My sense is that it's a pretty low total here. Philly, at some point is going to have the defensive lapses. I think, even though it's an elimination game and they've got to clamp down on defense, they just have defensive lapses that I think they are gonna show themselves once again here. So if the game goes off at 8 o'clock Eastern time, if you gave me a free play right now, I'd probably put it on the Celtics first half team total over, which is just 52. Jimmy already tweeted out he likes Boston -1. King Rail's already told us that he likes Philly. Also, a factor that King Rail, I believe, is the one who said it, is that if Boston wins here, there's no NBA games for quite a long time, and the NBA would not necessarily be super pleased with that. Maybe the NBA would love to throw in another Philly-Boston game in a few days, so maybe the NBA has a strong lean personally or organizationally towards Philly in this game. Interesting stuff.
Very interesting stuff. I'm just taking this from a very simple point when I look at these numbers and not overthinking it. First off, just with the numbers, we know no teams come back from 3-0. They're 0-129. Celtics are 36-0 when taking a 2-0 lead. Sixers franchise 0-14 when being down 2-0. Celtics are 6-0 at home in the playoffs. That's the first, just simple stuff. And then secondly, we have the best coach in the league in Brad Stevens, and he's going to come up with a plan for McConnell. That simple. I'm that simple. Now, yes, Shane Larkin hurt his shoulder, and that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt this team. There's no doubt about it. But I think that Jaylen Brown's healthy now, and I think him and Tatum are absolute monsters. And if they lose this game, I don't think they win the series. I think they have to win this game. I think they have to put everything into winning this game. And I love the way Marcus Morris is talking. I love the way Marcus Smart's talking. They're talking about being dogs, being dogs, and that they're pit bulls, and that they're going to go for the jugular. They're going to go for the neck here with the Sixers, and they have to. They have to win here.
All right. Can I address a comment from Bill Buttlicker right now,
Please
personally?
do.
Bill Buttlicker says, Pete, my coworker Rocket Rob is watching me for the first time. He says you look familiar. He's telling me to ask you if you've been to Katz's Deli in NYC. He's telling me he thinks you saw there in the past. The answer to that is yes, Bill Buttlicker. I go to Katz's Deli all the time in NYC. Have some strong connections to Katz's Deli. Love Katz's Deli in NYC. Not even kidding. And the answer to your question, Bill Buttlicker, ask if I've ever been to Katz's Deli in NYC. The answer to that is yes, absolutely, all the time. Shout out to Bill Buttlicker and his coworker, Rocket Rob. All right, let's move on, Jim.
Yes, let's move on.
So, Comments coming in. Let's see what the people have to say about it. Antoine Seymour, love Antoine Seymour, says, well, it looks like we'll be waiting a couple days because this shit is over tonight. Celtics finish it.
Nice.
Muhammad Joma, interestingly, predicts Celtics 97, Sixers 84. Predicting a very low-scoring game. I'm more surprised by his strong lean to the under than by his lean to the Celtics winning by double digits.
Wow, that's wild. And and God, holding the Sixers to 84 points, I find that very, very difficult.
Interesting. Muhammad Joma, very, very interesting. Oh, shit. Native Queen. Okay, these games are about to start. Native Queen says MLB, Baltimore KC, score in the first, and over hits errors and runs first inning. There you go. Native Queen in the Baltimore KC game, score in the first, yes, and over in hits, errors, runs first inning. Interesting.
That's very
Makes
interesting.
sense. Skoglund and Kashner, one of those guys you got to figure is going to get touched. That one's probably about a minus 135 or so line. I'm going to check that one. Thank you so much, Native Queen, for that pick. For first-time viewers, Native Queen, someone you want to listen to if you see any of her comments pop up or any of us refer to them. Native Queen, someone you might want to pay a little bit of attention to. First-time viewers.
No question. And I know everybody's excited about Larry's plays of tomorrow. I just need to make sure that he's ready to go. I will be right back in, in 1 second.
Okay. By the way, score in the first is at minus 130 right now at Pinnacle. Native Queen likes a score in the first, yes. KC and Baltimore, score in the first, yes. Currently minus 130, and that makes sense to me. It feels like Kashner might even have a good start, but give up, 1 run or 3 runs in the first inning. Skoglund giving up a run in the bottom of the first, of course, is entirely possible. Native Queen might have yet another strong play right there that you can tell. That game is still on the board, goes off in about 3 minutes. Thank you so much to Native Queen for that one. Maybe I should just put my money where my mouth is and throw that one on my official record and just tail Native Queen's picks that I see late that I agree with. Bill Butlicker also says UFC this weekend, Pete. Yes, I've already begun my research. I'm looking forward to that. Me and Andreas Hale on quite the run in UFC recently and MMA recently, and hopefully we'll be able to maintain it and keep it up. And on that note, do we have anything else that we want to get to, or is it time for lucrative Larry's plays of the future? What's going on here?
Nice. It is. Joshua saying, can you cap the USA versus Latvia game? Really, the guy who's straight fire right now is Al Mack. He's hammering it and he's 16-5 plus 8.3 units in IIHF, all documented. So check him out. And also, I do think Vlasic being added to Team Canada is a big deal, and I think it's a big deal. But it's time for lucrative Larry. He is ready to go. He took care of the beeping.
Let me get out of the way for a second.
He is ready to go.
For an increasingly popular segment of this show, let me just make some room here.
Lucrative Larry.
Guess who's back? With the IIHF, guys.
Okay.
That's what I got. Russia minus 1.5.
Ooh.
Over Czech Republic.
Ooh.
At plus 104. Got it, guys.
Russia minus 1.5 over Czech Republic at plus 104.
Ooh,
you like that, Jim?
I actually do like that. There's good value there. Minus 1.5 Russia. Okay, lucrative Larry has come in with his play of tomorrow. He's on Russia minus 1.5 at plus 104. Interesting, exciting. I like it.
Yes. I'm sorry. I just saw a comment from Dom Ricci saying Katz's is long gone. What the hell are you talking about? Is that true? I don't think that's true at all. I'm gonna look into that. But anyway, all right. So we have the lucrative Larry play of the day. I don't know what do you want? You have anything more to say about the NBA game, Jim? You took Boston -1. I believe King Rail likes Philly. Antoine Seymour says NBA is gonna have to wait a few days because this shit ends tonight. Antoine Seymour liking Boston. Again, I think I'm gonna hold off and not make any official plays. But if you gave me a free play, I think I'd put it on the Celtics first half team total over, which I believe was 52.
I do think that they're you know what, actually, I'm staying off the total. Tomor asking what Larry's record is. I am tracking it, and we have graphics coming. We'll have his record there on it, so it's all going to be glorious as we move forward with lucrative Larry. Total
seems to be headed down a little bit. The Boston Celtics first half team total is just 51.5. Interesting.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
No, the total is not headed down. Just the first half total is headed down. This is how sharp these NBA lines are. The full game total opened at 204 is now up to 205 or 205.5. The first half total opened at 104.5 is now down to 102.5. So the full game total took a jump of about 1.5 or 2. First half total took a jump down, a move down of about 1.5 or 2. Interesting.
Wow.
Someone knows something.
Certainly does.
Or someone thinks they know something. Or someone thinks someone who's betting with them knows something. Interesting shit. Me personally, I'm thinking I'm making a very smart move by giving no official picks in the NBA tonight. But once again, if you gave me an official play right now, if you gave me a free play right now and I had to throw it on something on this game, I'd probably just click on Celtics I'd probably take it full game over. Celtics full game, team total over 103.
That's
Muhammad
very
Joe, let's
interesting.
expect a low-scoring game.
That's I'm uncomfortable with the total. Yellow Jesus says Sixers will be up 10 at the half. This Celtics team has a ton of heart. I think they're going to take care of business tonight, and I think they know if they lose this game, history beckons, and they don't want that. They don't want to become a answer to a trivia question. I think they're going to come hard tonight and take care of business, and Brad Stevens will come up with a plan for McConnell at the point.
Nick 427 PC, I think that total line movement tells me the Celtics are the play.
I like the sounds of that.
I wonder why Muhammad Joma likes the game to be so low scoring. I understand it's an elimination game. I understand Philly knows they have to D up. But it's just interesting that he likes that low of a scoring game here.
It's very low. And Twain Seymour saying everyone taking the under. Game goes over tonight.
If you gave me, again, I'm not going to bet it, but if you gave me a free play on the total, I would throw it on the over.
Yeah. The total is concerning. The total is concerning, but I like the Celtics to take care of business tonight.
You do. All right. Maybe I should just as Chris Kelly says, Celtics always the play. Maybe I should just throw on the Celtics team total over 103. Are they going to play a brisk tempo here? It's really hard to say.
I'm concerned with their offense. I do think this is sort of a beat 'em up, drag 'em out kind of a game.
Yes, but then again, if the refs are calling it tight, you're going to get foul shots.
Well, Tolmore says, I think because the game will likely be close, it's going to be lower scoring, but I think Boston comes out with energy and pushes the tempo. And then Alert Eddie says, I'm sorry, the Sixers can't win in Boston.
Here you go, Muhammad Joma. Muhammad Joma coming in, who has predicted a double-digit win by Boston and a double-digit cover, a 20-point cover on the under, says Sixers are a young team, pressure of an elimination game in a hostile environment against a very well-coached team, screams low-scoring game. Muhammad Joma is a fucking knowledgeable guy.
No question.
Top commenter. Wow, there you go. Nice analysis. Muhammad Joma believes that the Sixers are a young team, not as well coached, and thinks there's going to be a low-scoring game here in the elimination game.
Yeah, wow.
King Rail says, in play the total at Pete. Do not bet pre-tip. King Rail, I'll do you one better. I'm not going to bet this game at all. I'm scared of the NBA right now. I'm not going to bet this game at all. I'm just analyzing it for analysis' sake and trying to figure out what I would do if you gave me a free play. But I agree with you, King Rail. Actually, the second half total might be worth a shot. I might, and if I do bet that one, I will definitely tweet it out and add it to my record. I agree with you, King Rail. I'm not pre-betting this one at all.
Christopher Kelly says, totally agree with Muhammad.
Interesting shit. Well, Jimmy the Bag has made his decision. He is on Boston -1. Other people suggesting that maybe Philly is the play. Very possibly the NBA liking Philly tonight. We'll see. But I think we can wrap it up. What do you think?
I think so too. And again, the strength of the chat gives us so much strength. And I'm about to have a huge. I can't possibly not have a winning day now. Because I only the one total. Oh, I can actually. Sorry, I can because I could lose my double up, my Atlanta, and the Celtics. If I lose all 4 games, I'll still have a slight winning day.
Then again, here you go. Tuvin Gansam. I haven't seen that name before. Tuvin Gansam says, don't agree. Philly has no pressure on them. Free flow, threes for days.
Oh, I think. Well, I actually to a small extent, I sort of agree with Tuvin. They the weight of the world was on their shoulders in Game 4, and getting a win now. They're not a total embarrassment. So maybe Tuvin has a bit of a point. He actually probably does. The Celtics have to get the job done tonight. But this is a squad with leadership, great coaching, and I don't see the same issues that that Philadelphia was dealing with.
Jim Rome's a douche says Sixers could easily be up 3-1. And on that note, you want to wrap it up, Jim? Once again, no play for me. If I do want to give a second half play, I will tweet it out, and that will count on my official record. Jim has gone on Boston to close it out tonight. Antoine Seymour agrees with that one. And I think we can wrap the show up. We have a lucrative Larry's play of the day, which is what, once again, Russia minus 1.5?
Russia minus 1.5 over the Czech Republic in the IIHF Ice Hockey World Championships at plus 104.
There you go. And we will be back tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern Time to tackle the Thursday card. Thanks so much. Much love to everyone. Thank you so much.